I want to start this off by saying this very clearly. I am a huge Christopher Nolan fan. I haven't seen every single one of his films, but I've seen most of them, and I love his directing style. I love the types of stories he chooses to tell, the way he structures narratives, and how intentional his filmmaking always feels. So when I found out Christopher Nolan was doing the Odyssey, I was immediately interested, and after watching the trailer, I'm definitely intrigued, but I also have some thoughts. I should also say up front, as of right now, I haven't read the Odyssey. I'm planning to read it before the movie comes out this July, so I'm not deeply familiar with every detail of the story yet. That said, I love Greek mythology. I love stories set in the ancient world, especially during the BC era. There's something about those settings, the myth, the history, the scale, that really works for me. So conceptually, this is already right up my alley. Visually, the trailer looks very stylized. It looks very much like a Christopher Nolan movie, grounded, serious, weighty, and intentional. You can tell this isn't going to be a light, whimsical take on the material. From a filmmaking perspective, I was engaged the entire time. The tone pulled me in, the scale felt massive, and it clearly wants to be taken seriously. So on a surface level, yeah, I'm interested. But then I started seeing the discourse online, Nolan fans on one side, history bros on the other, and honestly I kind of sit in the middle because I love Nolan's work, but I also really care about history and historical authenticity, especially in stories set in the ancient world. And I'll say this, some of the criticisms coming from the history side, particularly about costumes, casting, and period accuracy, are actually pretty valid. Christopher Nolan has a history of caring deeply about authenticity. Interstellar had real scientists and NASA consultants. Oppenheimer was meticulously crafted to feel accurate to its time and subject matter. Even when Nolan stylizes reality, he usually grounds it in research and intention. So seeing the Odyssey, a story rooted in a very specific era, take certain liberties with costuming and presentation does feel a little odd, and I don't think that's a crazy criticism to make. One thing I really don't agree with is the argument that, well, it's fictional, so it doesn't matter. That's just not how storytelling works. Even fictional stories have rules. Settings have logic, time periods matter. If you're adapting the Odyssey, people are going to expect certain visual and cultural elements to be present. Not because they're nitpicking, but because those things are part of what makes the story feel authentic. Unless the filmmaker clearly states this is a loose reinterpretation, those expectations are fair. What really fascinates me about this project is that it feels like Nolan's first real step into fantasy. He's usually very grounded, even his sci-fi leans heavily into realism, physics, and logic. But the Odyssey requires something different. It needs myth, it needs the fantastical, it needs gods, monsters, and symbolism that go beyond realism, and I'm genuinely curious to see how Nolan handles that. His strength is character, structure, and tone, which could work incredibly well here, but this is still very new territory for him. As for the cast, I have mixed feelings. Zendaya as Athena feels strange to me. I love Zendaya truly, but she doesn't immediately read as a Greek goddess to me. That might change once we see the full performance, but right now it feels like an odd fit. I'm also unsure about Matt Damon in the lead role. He's a great actor, no question, but visually and presence-wise, I'm not sure he fits this type of ancient Greek character. It almost feels like a role Nolan might have given to one of his longtime British collaborators instead. Anne Hathaway though, she looks the part, she fits the era, I buy her immediately. Tom Holland, I'm conflicted. I like him, but I do wonder if for some people, it'll just feel like Tom Holland again. That's not necessarily his fault, it's just the risk of a very recognizable casting. At the end of the day, I don't have any sharp or aggressive criticisms. I'm not mad, I'm not writing this movie off. If anything, I'm just curious. Curious to see how Christopher Nolan tackles mythology. Curious to see how much fantasy he allows himself. Curious to see whether authenticity and stylization can actually meet in the middle. Right now, the trailer looks cool. I'm hyped because it's Nolan, but I'm also watching this one very closely. Let me know what you thought about the trailer. Are you excited, skeptical, somewhere in between? And how do you feel about historical accuracy versus artistic interpretation when it comes to stories like this?